Hello, welcome to ApexToOval. I'm your host, Alex. Next to me, or I don't know what direction he's going to be in, but next to me is Jack, my co-host. We're here to bring you racing updates, hot takes, and breaking stories from across the motorsports world, whether it's the latest F1 drama, shocking developments in NASCAR, or the news stories you might have missed. We've got it covered. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the action. Let's start with the news stories. We have 3 F1 articles, 3 NASCAR articles, and 3 IndyCar articles. Then we'll get into some race recaps from the past week. Then we'll get into predictions for next race. And then we will talk about our main story, which is Lando versus Oscar. So let's get into the F1 stories. Arvid Lindblad has gotten a super license prior to his 18th birthday. Now, this may not seem news to anyone, but he is a Red Bull driver. And as we like to see, and as we know from Red Bull, they like to do a little cadoodling with their driver lineups mid-season. We've seen prior from Daniel Kvyat, Max Verstappen, Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, and many more. Liam Lawson, Yuki Tsunoda, all that. So, we now have Arvid, who I believe is an F2, getting a super license prior to his 18th birthday. Now, this was a special request, I'm pretty sure. So, Red Bull did actually have to request it to get it, because I don't think he had enough license points, but he might have he was so very close to it, and Red Bull requested it.
I think the main thing is just that he wasn't 18.
Okay. Because I know that Mercedes did the same thing with Kimi this past year. Kimi was not 18 when he got his super license to race into F1. So, will Red Bull replace someone in RB with Arvid?
I think this was purportedly just to defend against a Max Verstappen race ban and get him in the seat. At least for this year, right? To have him substitute there, or with Kimi last year, he was just doing like practice sessions, right? And then got the seat for real this year. I would not be surprised at all to see him in a full-time seat next year. But for this year, I don't see that switch happening quite yet.
Me and Jack in DMs, we were talking about this a little bit, and I basically said I think if Lawson does not perform before the spring break, that they will toss him out for Arvid.
I could see it. He's been doing enough in that V carb in that RB, but
yeah, but he's being severely outperformed by my GOAT, Isaac Hadjar. So
yeah, but Hadjar's just the GOAT. Like I don't.
Hadjar's just built different.
He's just too good.
Yeah, apparently. Anyway, do you want to get into the next?
Sure.
Next article.
Next up, we got Cadillac. Driver news, but not really. Not news. Just driver speculation. Sergio Perez, who I have defended at length, is being looked at as the next driver for Cadillac potentially. And I know some of the other names that have been floated out there are Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas, Mick Schumacher, but Sergio Perez is the name that's been getting the most steam lately. Any thoughts on that?
I like it. I was a Sergio Perez hater, obviously. Actually, we didn't have this pod when I was a full Sergio Perez hater, but I've put down a lot, and I actually kind of like him now.
You didn't know. You didn't know what it was like.
No, I really do like Sergio Perez now. And I do like him for the seat. I would have liked, I would personally like Daniel Ricciardo and Sergio Perez in the seat for filling out both seats, but Daniel's not coming back to F1, so that's not going to happen. But I'd like Sergio Perez in the seat, and I wouldn't mind a Valtteri Bottas, and I wouldn't mind another ass calendar so I can buy it this time. Because I didn't get to buy the last one, and I would like to buy one for my room. Well, technically my dorm, but still.
I honestly, give me Mick Schumacher. Like, if they're not going to take an American driver because of how super license stuff gets credited, give me Mick Schumacher. Like, he's still young enough that he can be, like, the younger guy there instead of just having two experienced drivers. And the Haas was a tractor when he was driving it, and he still was performing pretty well.
He was also, like, treated like garbage at Haas. So
absolutely. Well, when your teammate is the one funding the team.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Let me bring in another name. It's not going to happen. Give me the 24 Hours of Le Mans winner, Robert Kubica, back.
I feel like that ship has sailed because he's old at this point, right?
Yeah, but give him like a year or two. He'll be back in the form. Oh my god.
Wasn't he in Williams for a year not that long ago?
Yeah, I think it was with... Oh, I don't remember actually who. It wasn't with Latifi. Latifi was only in that one for a year. I forget who he was with. But yeah, he was in Williams for a year or two, and then like went to WEC or something like that. But
I like Mick
Schumacher. Give me back Kubica. Yeah. Another big news. The F1 calendar was released.
Oh.
Which is massive. A lot of discourse. Which actually, we're going to change what we're doing mid-podcast. We're going to have two topics to talk about. Because we've talked about it before on this podcast, but we're going to talk about it again later on. But a lot of people were in discourse. You know, Imola, gone.
Good.
Off the calendar next year. Fully gone. And Madrid has a race, which obviously we knew this. We knew Madrid was going to have a race. It was confirmed last year. But they're keeping Barcelona on the calendar still for like another year, and then they're gone, and Madrid's fully replacing it. But there's some interesting things that they did. The number one thing, we knew they were going to switch the Canadian Grand Prix and the Monaco Grand Prix. We knew this last year, and we also knew this year. The issue was they scheduled the Canadian Grand Prix the same day the Indy 500 is.
Yeah. They ruin...
Is it not also the Coca-Cola 600? So whether it's midday or night, you're not winning.
Although,
in the
respectfully, the Coke 600 is an order of magnitude smaller than the Indy 500.
Of course, but it's also a big race in NASCAR.
They ruined... Sorry. Are we... Can I get into this?
Oh, of course. Of course.
They ruined Motorsport's Christmas, a day that starts with Monaco, continues into the Indy 500, ends with the Coke 600. A great long day of racing. It's perfect, right? It's this very prestigious day in motorsports. Go for it.
Don't forget, MotoGP is also that day as well, so it's a quadruple that day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, let me tell you, I was enjoying that for my Texas hotel room this year. I was just sitting there, perched up, watching racing. But to move Monaco back and to have Canada take that spot on the prestigious day with the Indy 500, a race that will likely be hosted in the afternoon, directly competing with the Indy 500, probably not in the evening where it would compete with the Coke 600, but it's more likely than not going to compete with the Indy 500, and then excusing it under the guise of sustainability when there are 3 weeks between Miami and Canada is inexcusable. If you want to do it in the name of sustainability, have them back to back. Move the calendar enough that, like, you have Canada May 8th through May 10th, right? Keep Monaco where it is, do another race then, it doesn't matter. But if you're trying to refine the travel, don't have that 3-week break in North America when, none of the drivers live there. Like, it's asinine all the way down.
I agree. I think it was really stupid what they did, but they're going to do what they want. They're going to try to, take fans from the Indy 500 when in reality it's just not going to happen. This might be the least watched Canadian Grand Prix in the past 30 years.
At least in the U.S.
At least in the U.S., yeah. The Europe don't care about the Indy 500 or anything.
I mean, Europeans still care about the Indy 500 to an extent, but it becomes an event like the 24 Hours of Le Mans. They don't care about IndyCar, but it becomes an event that people tune into.
Yeah. Let's go to NASCAR. How would you take it away from NASCAR?
I didn't know if we had anything more on that calendar, because I know there was the United States discourse came back.
Yes, but we'll talk about that. Well, that'll be a talking point. That'll be a talking point.
Because I saw so many people talking about that.
I want to get into that. So.
All right, but Brennan Poole, of all people, is back in a Cup car at Pocono for his first start of the year. What do you know about Brennan Poole for Alpha Prime Racing this year?
Garbage. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know much. I'm not gonna lie. I just know I occasionally see him in the standings, and that's about it.
If I remember right, he was part of that top 5 run where it was him and Retzloff that both finished top 5. I think that was him. But for a while, he would make spot starts for. Actually, he was full time for a bit, but for a while he raced for. It was Premium Motorsports. It was the 15 car. It was really bad back marker. And then I think he made some starts for Rick Ware as well in the years after that, still in the 15 car.
In the Cup.
In Cup, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But he's one of those guys in the... I like to think of them as the rotating crew of Rick Ware drivers, although they're not really that anymore. But he's in that, J.J. Yaley, in the, Josh Bilicki, Garrett Smithley types, where, you're never going to see what he can actually do in a good car. Although that's not totally true for Yaley, but at this point. But I don't know. I don't have an issue with him. I mean, it's good for him. Although Pocono's a tough track to be in a bad car for.
I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy this guy. Dude, I hope... Don't they have, driver cams on, some... streaming service? I hope they have his driver cam. I'm just gonna look at his driver cam while watching the actual race and just see how he does.
The problem is he's running for NY Racing too, so that is not the best driver in a bad car, which is a tough combination.
How many wrecks can we get?
Luckily, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure he usually keeps it clean.
Damn it, that's no fun. I need him to chuck it into someone.
He's had some decent finishes. Actually, same number, because the NY Racing's also the 44. But in the 44 car for Alpha Prime in Xfinity, he's had some decent runs. Also, he has bright hair, if you didn't know. At least I think he does now. He may not anymore, but for a little bit there, he has he had bleached hair. It's naturally darker, but...
Oh, God.
You see it?
Oh no.
It's like he wants to be Valtteri.
I don't like it.
If you see some pictures of it.
Next topic.
All right.
Let's talk about Ricky Stenhouse.
Ooh, Ricky Spinhouse.
Ricky Spinhouse versus Carson Hocevar. Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Now, I did not see what happened during the race, but apparently something happened because at the end of the race, I did watch the Cup race. Let's be clear, that's one of the things I did do on Sunday. But I did not see what happened between them, and I did see after the race they were commenting on Ricky Spinhouse pissed off and yelling at Hocevar again. I'm rooting for Hocevar in this. I think Ricky Spinhouse does not deserve to be in the Cup. But that's just me.
See, the problem is, I don't know what it is with that. Now it's Hayek is the team. But that 47 car just, against all odds, keeps fighting. Stenhouse isn't that good of a driver. He's good on super speedways, but that's about it. The team isn't good. The car isn't fast. But somehow they keep finishing much better than they should this year. And Stenhouse has this pattern of consistently being so forgettable until he's really not, whether that's causing an absolute scene or whether that's running up front for a little bit in a race out of nowhere. So I don't know. It kind of feels like a perfect match of team and driver there, where they're both just hanging on despite the fact that all signs point to them just being terrible.
Yeah.
But this one, I think this one's on Hocevar.
Nope.
He had a tough.
My baby boy did nothing wrong. My baby boy did nothing wrong.
He had a tough weekend. Hocevar did.
Yeah.
But it's. I don't know if it was necessarily intentional. From Hocevar, like he was struggling a little bit. But Stenhouse has a right to be mad. I'll put it that way.
Nope. Not at my baby boy. He can be mad at himself, not my baby boy.
Well, speaking of being mad at Hocevar, would you like, as since he's your baby boy, would you like to defend what he said about racing in Mexico, or at least tell the people what he said about racing in Mexico?
I will not defend what he said, but I will talk about it. He basically ragged on Mexico for 1.5, 2 minutes on stream.
Yeah.
Saying it's a shithole and just all this stuff. And it's like, well, it's not. And then he shat on the way that NASCAR has been handling the weekend. And it's like, well, that may be an issue, but I mean, it is their first international race in 20, 25 years. Let them do what they want. And then he walked back his comments on Twitter, basically saying that he didn't actually leave he's never been out of the U.S. in his life, and that he shouldn't be judged for his comments about that, which is not true. I mean, you made some horrendous comments, like that you should be judged on that. But he said some stupid things, and I cannot defend it because I will not, because what he said was wrong, and that is that. But my baby boy did nothing wrong with Recce Spinhouse. He did do something wrong with the comments he made on stream.
Yeah, I can live with that, and obviously he regrets it, but it is a reminder that even if you like a driver's social media presence, as we did, and root for guys, they're still NASCAR drivers, most of them, right?
Yeah, they're still people.
And that was, among NASCAR fans, that seemed to be the prevailing opinion of the Mexico race. This is an American sport. Why are they in Mexico? My favorite was seeing people talking about the NA and NASCAR as North American and saying that Mexico didn't fit that, which was just funny.
Gross. That's gross. All right.
But that's how a lot of people saw it, unfortunately. And you got a lot of the same stuff with the NFL when they went to Brazil, right? It was the Eagles and Packers.
With didn't they have like armored trucks or some shit?
Well, it's the same thing where they were told not to go anywhere. They were kind of kept confined, and a big deal was made about safety where, I mean, respectfully, IndyCar was near St. Louis this weekend, and St. Louis is also, St. Louis isn't exactly the safest place in the world. Obviously, Gateway is a bit outside St. Louis, so it's a different story. But
yeah,
there's danger a lot of places. The U.S. isn't exactly a poster
anywhere.
child for safety.
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
there's danger everywhere. Like,
and I get that. You go to Mexico, you don't really speak the language, you don't want to get yourself involved in something, sure, but you're in Mexico City. Like, respectfully, it's gonna be fine. They needed a lot of security too because, on the positive side, with how this all played out, I don't know if you saw just how engaged the Mexican fans were, and especially how young the demographics were. Really an encouraging sign for the sport moving forward, and great kind of backing for the decision both to go to Mexico in the first place and for like the odds of coming back in the future.
Moving quickly on, or swiftly, or congratulations! I didn't write this in the thing. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin for having a baby. I forgot to write it in the notes. But Denny Hamlin had a kid, everyone. I don't, that's why he wasn't racing at Mexico City. I was sad because he couldn't go back-to-back, but let's be honest, it was a road course. He wasn't. But he had a kid on Wednesday, this past Wednesday. And, congratulations to Denny Hamlin, man. I'm pretty sure he's already a dad, but congratulations on another one. He might have to stay in the sport longer so he could pay for college and all that, but...
Oh, I think he's fine. If he could afford to start up a race team, I'm just gonna...
Well, with what's going on with said race team in NASCAR, I mean, that might be over quickly.
Nah, he'll be fine.
Let's talk about IndyCar. Now, we don't talk about IndyCar that often, article-wise, because I just can't find anything normally. But I did find some things. 3 things. Well, technically 1. 2 of them happened during the race. But still, IndyCar is back in Forza Motorsports, everyone. I was saying for the longest time that Forza Motorsport 7 was the greatest Forza Motorsport because they had so many licenses from everywhere. And, the new Forza Motorsport sucked because, A, the driving was horrendous, and B, there was no just fun things going on. Like in Motorsport 7, you had the NASCAR Cup Series, you had William Byron's paint schemes, you had Joey Logano's paint schemes, you had, I believe, Chase Elliott's paint schemes. You had most good IndyCar teams, you had Formula E, all that. You had a Formula 1 car from 2017 when the game came out, right? You had a Renault car, F1 car from that year. The one that's currently out, I mean, I got it. I was super high hopes. I was like, hell yeah. They're going to have license after license after license, just like every other Forza Motorsport, and they did not. The NASCAR Cup Series came in like 6 months after the game came out, and IndyCar is coming out now. So, and there's no actual paint schemes to it. It's just the car. So you have to actually like look on the design center for the paint schemes. But
dang.
Yay.
Then again, IndyCar is a spec series, so at least that's not like the worst it could be, but could at least give us the 2 manufacturers or something.
Well, yes, there is the 2 manufacturers.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah. As a primarily Horizon player, I got as far as, oh, sweet, the branding's coming back, and didn't actually look at the specifics.
Oh, yeah. They have both IndyCars. There's just no... You have to switch the paint schemes if you want to drive as different drivers. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much fine.
And there's a discount till, like, early July, so... I might have to hop on and spend my million CR or whatever the hell they use as currency.
Yeah, I think it is credits.
Yeah, I saved up $1 million.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's what I always like to save up for, like, what's the one? It's like the Le Mans Ford from back in the day.
Yeah.
Like the one from
the
Ford versus Ferrari.
MK2, yeah, MK2 something.
I always like to get that one, but that one's always like
expensive.
Oh yeah, it's like tens of millions.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you
want to go into our next one?
I would love to. IndyCar racing.
You have to say the name, the full name.
As written.
As written.
Christian Razzy Rasmussen gets his first career podium.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to give him the nickname Razzy.
Okay.
His PR, no, not PR, his social media manager is Jordan. You know what? I can't even say the last name. I don't want to be disrespectful to her last name, but she is a content creator, and she is running Razzy's and Jesse Love's social medias.
Oh, the person who runs Jesse Love's.
Yes.
That's good social media. Okay.
So she's so good at it. She's great. Love her content. She responds to my comments too, which is great. But, because she'll be like, oh, I want, who wants content? And I'm like, I want NASCAR content. Heck yeah. But yeah, so Razzy is the nickname I'm trying to plaster onto his name.
All right. Well.
Anyway, happy for his first podium though. Hell yeah.
Yeah, first full-time season, in what, an Ed Carpenter car. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And he really had to fight for it.
Yeah. Dude, he hasn't been that bad this year. Like, he finished 6th 2 races ago. He didn't do well last race, but he did get a podium this race. I mean, he's doing fantastic the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. I mean, no complaints from me.
None for me either. I'm enjoying it. Shall we get on to the
less exciting news?
Less exciting news. Now, I haven't watched this crash yet. I'm not going to lie.
Oh.
I have to put out a public apology for this. I did not watch the IndyCar race yesterday. I was so ready to watch it in the morning. I was like, in the morning, I told myself I got F1, then F1 and NASCAR basically the same time. Then I got IndyCar at night. And by the nighttime, I forgot about IndyCar and I went to bed early.
Dang.
Whoops. So, I have not watched this crash yet because I have not watched the race yet, but I will when, like, one of the next couple of days. Joseph Newgarden suffered a horrific crash.
Yes, he did. He was upside down and sliding upside down for quite a while. I will say, to their credit, IndyCar race control, especially after that happened, really quick on pulling out a caution when people were crashing, because that's a high-speed car, Halo or not, it's an oval in an IndyCar. That's dangerous stuff. Yeah, what's up?
Not an oval. It's the face shield. I don't think they have an
No,
oval.
the track is an oval.
Oh, I was like, sorry. Oh, I thought you were saying Halo in my head. I was like, hold
I
up,
did
wait a
say
minute.
Halo before, but
Oh, that's what I meant.
But yeah, they have the full windshield thing. I forget what it's called, but it's still, they have a similar metal structure around.
Yes.
To support and protect the driver. But especially oval racing in an IndyCar, I mean, it's the fastest racing on earth for a reason. Gateway isn't the biggest track, but these are dangerous tracks to have these cars race at, and there's always debates over oval racing. So it's great to see him walk away from this. B, really impressive by race control, both getting the caution out, and the safety team was there, I believe, talking to him within 3 seconds of his car stopping moving. There was a safety team person there talking to him and working on getting him out. So really good stuff there. And it's good to see that, the safety stuff works. Yes, it's not the fastest track, but he's okay.
Yep. Agreed. Anytime something like a horrific crash happens, you want the safety team on it.
And especially Indy. Especially at an oval.
Yeah, especially Indy when they go that fast.
Yeah.
You want it. You want it quickly. Yeah. Let's race recaps. How about that? Talk about the Canadian Grand Prix. Now, I watched this in full. Now, is George Russell dominance going to bore F1 fans? That's the real question. Screw what happened in the race. George Russell won the
Uh-oh. Getting Georg in
Georg
here.
Russell won this race. All right. His name is Georg Kittle, but we're going to play along. His name is Georg Russell. So.
Yeah.
But he won the race dominantly.
Turns
there was
out,
no shot anyone else was winning.
Turns out Lewis's Canadian dominance, at least since moving to Mercedes, might have stayed with Mercedes.
Yeah.
Because they were the fastest car all weekend.
Yeah. Yes, they were.
I mean, even the data before qualifying was predicting Mercedes as the fastest car for the weekend.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, other big news. Kimi Antonelli, the third youngest podium.
For all the haters out there, behind who?
This is shots at me, and I don't appreciate it.
Oh, I don't think it's necessarily shots at you. I think that you've been defending him.
Okay. Because I remember what I said in the beginning of the year, and I've taken that back.
No, you've been defending him on the internet lately. But
I have. This is fair.
But behind who?
Lance Stroll.
Naturally.
Oh, you're talking about Max Verstappen.
No, I was talking about Lance Stroll.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll.
People forget. People forget.
Podium. Dude, people forget that guy was cracking goated at Force India /
Well, this was
it was actually
this was
Racing
Williams.
Point. It was Racing Point.
No, this was Williams.
It was Racing Point. No.
Lance Stroll?
It was at Racing Point.
No,
it was at Racing Point. No, it was at Racing
swear.
Point. It was the same. It was the same race that Sergio Perez went last to first after he crashed with Charles in the first lap.
I swear it was Williams.
Check it.
I swear. Because I know that he started his career at Williams for 2 years, and this was obviously like only a few races into his F1 career.
Was it really at?
Yeah. I
don't believe this.
I don't know what to tell you. That it was with Williams in what, 2017?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
It was Azerbaijan, right?
It was, yeah. How the, in a Williams?
Yeah.
In what world is that a thing?
I mean, keep in mind, this was before, like, I think it was the year after that Williams became, like, the worst in the field. But
that makes no sense.
Like, I think that Stroll finished, I think that he and Massa, his teammate that year, were, like, 11 and 12 or something in the standings. So, like, Williams was kind of a middle-of-the-pack team.
Massa was goddamn.
But then Williams the year after that was, like, actually terrible, and then continued to be actually terrible.
Fifth?
Yeah, they were middle of the pack.
What the fudge? Interesting. I always thought his first podium was in 2020.
No.
Wait, but that wouldn't have made sense because he was old as... you know what? Never mind. I'm just, like, stupid. I'm just dumb. Alright. I'm stupid. Kimi Antonelli podium. And, what else? We're going to talk about it. But, you know, we're not going to fully talk... Oh, God, I just kicked my desk. We're not going to talk about the Lando Oscar thing right now. We're going to talk about it in a little bit with our discussion. But, that did happen.
Finally.
We'll talk about it. Yep, finally, and we'll talk about it. Not finally as in thank God, but finally as in, like, it actually happened.
You
now.
You knew it was coming at some point.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Verstappen finished second. Yeah.
George had a good start and never looked back.
Oh, wait. Did Hulkenberg finish in the points this time?
Yes, he
Hold
did.
Up.
Yes, he did.
Sir.
Sauber points.
I saw Hulkenberg. Sauber points. He was 8th. Yeah, he was 8th. He wasn't lapped. He finished 15 seconds back.
Yeah?
Now, I'm pretty sure, was there not a safety car?
There was a safety car, which is why. But Nico Hulkenberg...
That ain't bad. Nico Hulkenberg.
In a Sauber. Has 20 points and is 11th in the Drivers' Championship right now.
You also had Nando finishing in the points. Nando Alonso. Esteban Ocon. And Carlos Sainz.
Hulkenberg has as many points as Yuki and Lawson combined, and then some. You could even toss Ollie Behrman in there to make up that difference. But like,
hell yeah.
And Lawson's points came not even at Red Bull, but like I was just combining that second Red Bull seat. Hulkenberg in a Sauber has more.
Yeah. Let's see. Your DNFs were Lando Norris, obviously, Liam Lawson, and Alex Albon. Yeah, that like Liam Lawson DNF, guys. This might actually happen like before, like at summer break. Replaced, gone.
Where's
forever.
Where's that Liam Lawson song? You know the one I'm talking about?
Oh, my name is Liam Lawson. Get out of my way. That one.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a banger.
He'll be missed.
Anyway, he will be. Rest in peace. Rest in peace his career in F1. Let's talk about... Jack, did you watch the IndyCar race?
I watched a good chunk of it.
All right, let's hear it.
I'll be honest, I couldn't watch some of it because the Fox website was being real weird. Because I have a YouTube TV subscription, but I am out of market, and so I like have to log in through the network specific sites, and the Fox Sports site was not working for like half of it.
Does that mean you didn't get the F1 race?
Oh, I got the F1 race, but I missed the first 4 or 5 laps because
that's fine.
Because I tried to do it. I tried to watch it on the ESPN app, and then realized it was on ABC, which they don't let you watch on the ESPN app. You need ESPN Plus for it. So then I tried to get the ABC app, and then realized that ABC didn't have an app. So then I went to the ABC website on my phone, and in the time it took me to do all that, I might have missed a few laps, but that's fine.
Next time you text me, I'll share my screen.
Yeah, I should have thought of that.
Yeah. Because I was watching it the entire time.
But IndyCar, it was a fun fight. Kyle Kirkwood got his first win on an oval, and we had some kind of notable incidents. Obviously, we talked about the Newgarden crash, but perhaps most notably, neither of our predictions were right.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
To be fair, mine shouldn't have been right to begin with. I just wanted to continue the Poole train.
I think, speaking of trains, we talked about Newgarden, who obviously is a Penske driver and who had a flip. Both of his teammates, all 3 Penske drivers, all DNF'd. None of them finished the race. So the kind of nightmare start to a season for Penske.
Dude.
Yeah.
Penske, did they even cheat it in the World Endurance Championship?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how did that feel, Porsche fan?
I was so pissed, dude. Penske, what the F is wrong with you? By the way, I just want to point out, if Penske didn't cheat, they'd probably win the 24 Hours of Le Mans. I just want to point that out. Because they were sort of from, like, the back.
Yeah. Who knows?
They probably win. But who cares at this point? Screw you, Penske.
But
No, screw you. I mean, if you'd like to invite me to an IndyCar or WEC race or Amstel race, I mean, Penske, I'll take it. But, yeah, stop cheating.
But yeah, tough one for Penske. Great for Kyle Kirkwood, who's no longer a street course merchant, or road course merchant, whatever you want to call it.
Same thing.
IndyCar on an oval is always a good watch. So I suggest next time they're at one.
Now, Jack, I would like you to talk about the Xfinity race if you watched it, because I did not. I completely forgot it was on. I didn't watch it.
So the Xfinity race.
I did see the edit to Daniel Suarez at the end, and I was super happy.
Yeah, so that's why I was so desperately looking for the entry list, because I wanted to know if Suarez was entering that race. Because the Cup guys were some of the ones that were working, like, were running really well, at least kind of earlier on. I mean, obviously, a lot of the others, like Bell DNF'd. Didn't Gibbs run that race?
Yeah, Gibbs are in it.
I
don't know where he finished, but he did run it.
I think he only finished, like, barely in the top 15. But it was one of those where it turned out to be Cup guys who were showing why they were Cup guys. But Suarez is already a good road course racer. I was really on the fence about picking him instead of SVG for the Cup race. If I had known that he was running Xfinity, man, I would have picked him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would have too.
And I'm sure I should have just paid closer attention to the announcements, because I'm sure it was definitely publicized somewhere.
No, I think at the time of our recording on last Monday, it did not come out yet.
Well, the entry list wasn't out, but I'm sure that like fans of Daniel Suarez would have known that he was running. Like it might have been announced previously with the race, especially because he's a Mexican driver. But really great for him. Good run for Taylor Gray. Tough one for a few guys on there, but I am most of all happy for Daniel Suarez, because he's had a tough go of it this year with everyone clamoring for Zilich to take either his or SVG's seat. And SVG's doing what he needs to do, which is sneak a win at a road course. So
yeah. Let's actually talk about that. SVG won. Jack, you actually finally made a good prediction, although
it took the most obvious pick of all time.
It was the biggest layup you will ever see in NASCAR or racing ever. For who's going to win SVG at a road course.
And it was because I had the wherewithal to jump on the Google Doc ahead of you making all of your predictions. And I just snuck straight to the Cup race and just typed in SVG. I let you take Zilich, but SVG was mine.
Yeah.
Although, who was it? It was Jeff Gluck. Like, this time in 2024, Yeah, August 27th. So not quite this time, but August 27th, 2024. He said that New Zealand's SVG was going to win the inaugural Mexico City race to qualify for the Cup playoffs. And sure enough, 10 months later, look where we are.
Yeah, it's actually cracked and goated with the sauce.
Speaking of cracked and goated with the sauce, though, would you like to talk about your personal hero, Ty Gibbs?
Bro, Ty Gibbs, man, I love you so much, man. You are so good a driver, man. I never doubted you for a second, man. That, genuinely being serious, I never doubted you for a second. I've been on the Ty Gibbs train this entire time. He was top 3 the entire race. Like, it was actually nuts. Until he, like, you know, towards the end where, like, he wore his back tires too much and he couldn't push. But, I mean, man, Ty Gibbs, man, what a race from you, bud. You should have been top 3. You should have been fighting for the win. You should have actually probably had the win at certain points of the race. But, I mean, unlucky for the back rear tires to give out dirt towards the end. But yeah, a phenomenal race. I love you, Ty Gibbs. I love you, Megamind.
Christopher Bell, once again, running well at a road course. That being a thing is a little scary, but good for him. Chase Elliott, as you predicted, good road racer, performed well here. Michael McDowell, known good road racer, performed well here. Chase Briscoe, not the most surprising. Chris Buescher, not the most surprising. Bubba Wallace in P12 is really a surprise because he, notoriously more than most drivers in the grid, really has struggled on road courses historically. And so it's something that he's been working toward. But as far as drivers like in the top 20, he is really the only one that like notoriously is terrible at road courses. And it's impressive to see that kind of change over time.
Good shit, Bubba. We love you. All right. Let's see.
And one more note. Catherine Legg was in this race, and all of the people that got crazy angry about her before didn't even notice.
She was running 31st.
Yes. Well, 32nd, I think.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, she qualified like 37th. Like, she is in not a good car.
Hey, that's not bad, actually.
And
hell yeah.
She just kind of was going around without too much issue.
Hey, and also, she doesn't have too much time in NASCAR at all. So, good shit for her. I'm not going to lie. I was very... You know, I was sad that she wasn't higher, because I'm pretty sure she has raced on this track before. But, like, hey, it's a NASCAR, right? You haven't been in NASCAR very long. Screw it. I mean, good shit.
Her fastest lap was faster than those of, like, Cody Ware, of Noah Gragson, and there might be another one or two. I think it was faster than Justin Haley's fastest lap. Like, these are kind of back markers. Like, these aren't the best drivers or the best cars, but to be in arguably the worst car on the grid and to at least get lap times competing with them, you know, showing she belongs, which we'll take that.
Hell yeah. Let's talk about the races next week. We got trucks at Pocono, Xfinity at Pocono, Cup at Pocono, and IndyCar at Road America. So let's get into the trucks. Jack, who do you have?
I have the reigning winner, Corey Heim, who was left for me to pick because I hear that there's a Cup guy who is known to be pretty good at driving race cars going down to the Truck Series.
Yeah, I got Hocevar. Yeah, you know, I still love Hocevar, even though he made some shitty comments. He's funny on social media, so I mean, I gotta pick him if he's going to the trucks. I'm just middle finger to Heim. That's what I need to see from you, Carson. Middle finger him as you win.
Do what to him? No. Speaking of Cup guys going down, who you got for Xfinity?
I got Chase Elliott. You know, number 9 in the Cup. It's Pocono. He's very good at Pocono to begin with. In the Cup. So I have him doing well in Xfinity.
I keep picking Fords, and it keeps being a mistake, but give me Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, that's a mistake. I was going to pick Austin Hill if I didn't check the Cup guys who was racing.
Austin Hill was also my my backup, but I had a feeling.
Switch it.
I keep having feelings.
Switch it.
No, I am rolling with Sheldon Creed.
Switch it.
And Austin Hill's going to win, and I am going to come on here next week, and I'm going to be so mad.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you.
No.
Yeah. Jonathan Green's not winning.
All right.
Let's go to the Cup. I got Hamlin.
Dad power, huh?
Simple as easy. I got Hamlin.
New dad power.
New dad power. I mean, you saw Jalen Green in the NBA. As soon as that man became a dad, he became a walking bucket. So I have Denny Hamlin to win a race as a new dad.
I have Ryan Blaney for the simple...
Well, not new dad. He's been a dad, but still.
Yeah, well...
Still.
I have Ryan Blaney for the simple reason that I went to Pocono last year. I will not be able to make it this year, unfortunately.
Boo.
I have too much going on because I'm leaving Pittsburgh on Tuesday. And then...
You also have Minecraft, my guy.
Oh, yeah, I do have Minecraft to play, but that's beside the point. But I just don't have the time to make it out to the Poconos, which is like 4 or 5 hours for me.
Yeah.
Not this time, but last year saw Ryan Blaney win there. Had a really great time, and just for the sake of keeping it going, let's pick Ryan Blaney again. I just got an email mistakenly from Pocono Raceway talking about the tickets that I allegedly purchased. I didn't. They later sent an email saying it was a mistake. But if they think it's last year and that I bought a ticket, let's make it last year and have Blaney win the race.
Let's see it happen. Let's go to IndyCar at Road America. I got Alex Palou. It's a road course. You got to pick Palou.
Yeah.
There's no point. There's no point in picking anyone else.
In honor of Suarez winning in Mexico,
and Perez allegedly getting a seat.
I'm picking Pato O'Ward. He's been running better of late. He's been picking it up. There were a couple headlines about him being happy for, fellow Mexican drivers. So let's see O'Ward get his. Obviously, Road America pretty much couldn't be further from Mexico. But I want to see him do well. I like rooting for Pato O'Ward, man. So
yeah, Pato O'Ward is my second. I'm really rooting for him to get a win. So if you win this race, I wouldn't mind. Let's go to the main story. Now, we actually have two. We're going to go lightly over both. Let's go to Lando versus Oscar. All right. Now, Jack, would you like to admit something right now?
You were right. I think you made this call like a month plus ago. But you were right. Lando's done. It's over. The only competition for Oscar at this point would be if Mercedes really steps it up, which
or Max.
They had a good week, or Max, but that Red
Max
Bull
got second this week.
Yeah, although that Red Bull doesn't really seem to be improving too much, pace wise.
I'm not gonna say the championship is done. I'm not gonna say that. Obviously there's 20 races, not 20. No, 16, 15, 14, however many races are left, man. There's still 10 plus races left.
But between the two McLarens?
Between the two McLarens, I mean, Oscar is... he's the better driver. I mean, let's be honest. He's more calm, collected when it matters. He is faster the most of the time. He has the most wins this season. I mean, he overall has done better. The only reason why Lando was probably close to him in the champion standings-ish up until this week was because Oscar had a little bit of a blunder in Australia in the wet.
Well, I will say that I think technically Lando has slightly better race pace. There's only so much you can do when Oscar's ahead in track position already. Qualifying pace is just more important to have a slight difference in because of how much dirty air can do for you.
That is true. And Lando did qualify 7th, I'm pretty sure, this past week. So, yeah. So they did crash. It was a long time coming, especially this year. Lando claimed fault for it instantly.
And was right for doing so.
And was right for doing so. The idea he had was very good. If he did that a couple seconds later, he would have had it in the inside. But unless Oscar just didn't move to the racing line, but
he was going.
Oscar had moved to the racing line multiple times before that.
It's just going outside that he's shooting a gap that's half grass, and isn't there in the first place.
Yeah, that is true. It was good on paper. It just wasn't good in the race.
Yeah.
Oscar didn't move over at all. Lando went on the grass, lost control, slammed into the wall, slammed into Oscar, and DNF.
I mean, why would Oscar have moved over, though? They were racing,
Yeah, well, I think the thing that Lando was he would move over to get on the racing line,
Oh,
and so that Lando would late brake into that turn and take the inside is what I was thinking.
hmm.
And what I've kind of, because I'm pretty sure the last couple of laps before that, Oscar did take the racing line, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Lando was preparing for him to do that again, but he just shot the gap way too early, and so that happened.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, it didn't seem like it hurt Lando's confidence as much. You know, he is behind Oscar at this point, and he is desperate because he knows Oscar is the better driver, right? Lando is still a great driver, don't get me wrong, but he is getting desperate now, and you can kind of see it with that move. But this championship is not over. If Lando regains confidence even more, say he does really well next race and the race after, this is anyone's race. This is anyone's season. This is anyone's championship. Max's, George's, Oscar's, and Lando's. Ferrari's kind of out of it. So is everyone else, but, you know.
Ferrari, just got passed for P2 in constructors?
Yeah, but they only held it for a week. So, like, it's not... Mercedes was number 2 for, like, every single week before last week, so...
Yeah, but...
You know.
Ferrari just is clearly a step behind them.
Yeah.
And seems to be all kinds of dysfunctional over there.
Yep. Yeah, Fred actually said something about that. He's like, the team principles... I don't actually know if this was an actual quote, so don't quote me on this, but, like, I did see someone say that Fred was saying that, like, we've changed everything but one thing. It's time to change that one thing. Allegedly. I don't actually know if he actually said that. I didn't see the actual clip that he said that in. I just saw text that he
Something
said
like
that.
that.
So, yeah. Let's talk about the other thing. Right? The Europeans. Big mad. Big mad.
Big mad.
Over the F1 calendar. Obviously, Imola's gone. They were mad about that weeks ago. But they got even more mad about it. You know, why do we get so many races in the U.S. and, you know, in Europe they only get one per country? So I have some stats that Jack sent to me because I'm not on F1 Twitter because I would probably, like, genuinely...
Bro would get rebanned from Twitter.
I didn't even... Dog, I got banned from Twitter on my main account. I don't know why I got banned. They gave me no explanation. I didn't tweet anything for like 6 months, and then I come back and I'm banned. So I don't know what I said. I didn't say anything bad. I was just talking about football, American football, and I got banned. Anyway, let's see. All right, here we go. In 1996, there were 11 Grand Prix in Europe. In 2006, there were 10 Grand Prix in Europe. In 2016, there were 11 Grand Prix in Europe. And in 2026, there will be 10 Grand Prix in Europe. The tweet says also, y'all aren't losing anything, so what makes you mad about others being able to see F1 live? And I agree. And here's the thing, right? I'm from the Northeast in the U.S. I'll say that, right? I don't get any F1 races. If I want to go to an F1 race, I have to go to Florida.
Well,
that's Canada, a whole flight.
Canada would be the closest. Montreal is
Oh, you're
just
right.
north.
It's like a 9-hour drive.
Canada's the closest for me, though. And I'm in Pittsburgh.
Ooh, that's fair. Well, aren't you... You're a little up. You're a little more north.
Not really, no. And Quebec is over Vermont. It's not over near me.
Oh. Well, it's Montreal.
Yeah.
Specifically. I know it's in Quebec, but still. But yeah, the closest F1 race is Montreal, which is like a 10-hour drive. 9-hour, 10-hour drive, whatever it is. That's tough to make. Now, I am more than willing to go to the Montreal Grand Prix, but I want Watkins Glen back. Give me Watkins Glen, damn it. I don't care what you have to do to the F1 county to give me Watkins Glen. But oh, what just happened? Oh, trying to reconnect. Oh, no. My internet died. My internet died.
I lost you for a second there.
Died again. My internet died again.
Watkins Glen. What about Watkins Glen?
Watkins Glen. Give me Watkins Glen back. I need it for my. Just give it back, man. I just want Watkins Glen. It was great when you raced there. Just race at Watkins Glen again. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Candidate.
I just think the Las Vegas one is stupid. I think that 3 in the U.S., 1 in Mexico, 1 in Brazil, one
Brazil.
in Canada is like fine. I think you need another one in South America. I'm not forgetting one, right? It's just Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not one in Argentina or anything, so yeah.
But like just the Las Vegas one specifically just is really stupid. But I saw
Whoa. Sorry, the edits for the Las Vegas Grand Prix make up for the shite racing.
and the time.
Yeah, but that like the edits. Think of the edits, damn it.
I'll think of the TikTok edits. My bad.
Think of the TikTok edits.
Like you could have one like near LA or something. Like that would be neat.
No, I don't want. No, don't let LA near F1. No.
I mean NASCAR ran stuff in LA and it was fine. They had the Coliseum clash.
I know, but like run it up.
But
please.
Bay Area GP.
Don't let the celebrities near F1. They will take all the paddock passes.
Don't let the celebrities near F1. What do you think has been happening at the American races already?
If you put them towards LA, they're all in LA. You put them in LA. You put a race in LA. They're taking up every paddock pass, man.
You know how many went to Miami in the first place? But anyway, there were like probably the like typical American driving distance to a Grand Prix is still like 10 to 15, 16 hours.
Yeah.
Unless you live particularly close to one of the tracks. Like again,
in
for
Miami,
me,
Las Vegas,
the closest track is
Austin.
Montreal. And that is well into double digits driving time.
And you also have to cross the border.
Yeah. But, if we're comparing this to Europe,
time.
like there were people in Europe that were like, oh, well, we also have to go far distances. You can't just get to another Grand Prix. And it's like, to match, I saw
2
one
hours.
person legitimately match or exceed what my travel time would be to the nearest Grand Prix. And it was someone who was living in like southern Greece driving. And that's like the only place that they could come up with that would match that like travel time. And then not to mention the population served, if you just split the continent among those people, it is so much larger of a population than you get at some of these individual European races.
Yeah.
Like, adding to the calendar so that you can expand access elsewhere is not taking away from anything, and it's also not unfair. However Eurocentric you want to be, you can allow other people to enjoy the sport.
Exactly. I love Europe. Don't get me wrong. But, like, when it comes to F1, y'all got races, right? We don't have that many races here, especially, like, in comparison to the drive time.
The country of the United States of America can compete with the EU as a bloc. If the states of the United States were changed to countries, I think that they'd see it differently. They still wouldn't because of how they view the U.S., but, like, it really is that you can compare an American state to a European country in a lot of cases.
Let me put this into perspective for all the Europeans. California has the third or fourth largest economy in the world by itself. Let's make this very clear. If they really wanted to go after the money, they would go to California. Thank you for my TED Talk.
Hey, look, I was suggesting that. Although they think that Vegas feeds that audience, but the Vegas one is just dumb.
No, it doesn't. Dog, it's like 6 hours from LA to San Francisco. No, it's not.
Hey, they're building like commercial high-speed rail or something.
When's that going to be up, man? Like,
but yeah, no, it's
a rough drive. I've done the drive from LA to San Francisco in hard traffic times. It's not good.
Luckily, Vegas, you're driving through desert for most of it, so.
That is true.
But still, getting out of LA is going to be a nightmare no matter what.
If you're in San Francisco and you're driving to Vegas, it's not going to be a fun drive.
San Francisco, not at all, yeah.
No, right? You're only feeding the small portion of people from like lower California. Southern California.
Yeah, but it's still only 3 races in the US, 5 in North America as a continent. And you can fit all of Europe inside the continental US pretty much.
That's not even a kind of. That's a yes, you can. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we get 11 races? 10 races now. Give us 10 races.
I don't know about all that because they do have a.
Give us that. Give me Watkins Glen 7 more times.
There is a legitimate argument with the history in the sense that some of the tracks you don't want to take them off the schedule, even if they're close to each other, just because, like, you know, you don't want to do anything to Monza, you don't want to touch Silverstone, right?
Yeah.
And you definitely don't want to touch Monaco, even though that's, you know, right around that
Although
area.
everyone wants to remove Monaco, you're not touching Monaco. Like,
you just can't.
Eventually, the cars are going to be smaller, and the racing's going to be just fine like it was in the 2000s. Like, you don't remove Monaco just because the racing's bad
But
now.
I would definitely much rather add more races to Asia and to Africa. Like, China needs another date.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Maybe take a few from the Middle East as well. But I would do that before I tried to get North America even with Europe in any way, shape, or form.
No, we need 7 runs at Watkins Glen.
Okay, how about one at Lime Rock? What do we think?
Yo, actually, though, it will never happen because the track is too small, but yes. Yes. Actually, no. They don't do races on Sunday at Lime Rock.
I'm sure if F1 came to town, they'd change their minds.
They would have to buy out the entire town. Because that's an issue with the whole
Hey,
town.
Liberty Media? Hey,
Liberty Media, I have some budget for you. Buy out the town.
Hey, how would you like to come to the wonderful market of Connecticut, United States?
Dude, I would be so ecstatic. Even like Thompson would be nice. Thompson Raceway.
Just put them on a street course. I still love and it keeps coming up with discussions about this. There is a part of me that would love to see an attempt at a New York City street course.
Oh, dog! Don't even get me started. I would actually like kill for that. I just want to see it happen once. You could do it too. That's the thing. It's very like the roads are technically wide enough at certain parts.
You just got to get all the cars off them.
Yeah, like you have to like shut down like you do at Las Vegas, but that's not happening because New York is a city that never sleeps, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
but you definitely like could. Just the entire city of New York would riot because half the streets would close down for one weekend.
I don't know how they pull it off.
In Las Vegas or in New York?
In Chicago, I was going to say for NASCAR.
They closed out. So no. I know how they do it in Chicago because I actually saw an article on this today. They have like cutoff time, so like you can't be on the track after, or you can't be on the road after a certain time in certain areas.
Yeah,
that's how they normally do it.
I assume they're just aggressive with the enforcement.
Oh yeah, no, they're
I was thinking like in New York, if you're doing a street course, obviously it depends exactly where, but just people trying to find somewhere to park their car is already a nightmare.
Oh dear God!
Clearing out all the street parking and trying to force everyone to find somewhere else. I was like, I don't know how you do that. Luckily, Chicago is mostly on like
that. There's not enough parking garages to fit everyone that's gonna come.
Oh no, you should never drive to New York City. In my professional opinion.
Take the train. Take the train.
Even just park at the edge of where the subway will reach, if you want. But
yeah,
don't drive into Manhattan.
Grand Central is an experience everyone needs to have. So
true. Take the Metro North. Don't take
the Hilton.
Don't take New Jersey Transit. Don't take the Path. Take the Metro North. Take the Long Island Railroad. Do not come from New Jersey.
Do not buy a Boston Red Sox hat and then come into New York with it.
Hey, I've done that. I've done the reverse in Boston a lot. I've worn Yankee stuff in Boston a lot and been fine.
Dude, I wore a Niners jersey in Seattle and I was almost told to get off the bus immediately.
Hey, to be fair, I've been told that for wearing a Yankees jersey in Pittsburgh. That's just what the Yankees are to people. But
this was like peak Niners Seattle Seahawks like rivalry. It was so funny. I'm like starting to get off the bus and I'm like crying and the guy's like, nah, you're good, just chill out. I was like, oh okay. I was like 7.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't the reverse because in San Francisco they just beat your ass.
Don't wear an Oakland jersey.
San Francisco fans are somehow the most violent.
Hold up, we're not. This isn't even F1 related. Philly.
I don't know, man.
They beat police horses.
Well, yeah, and threw batteries at Santa. But, like...
They threw batteries at Santa, police horses. And on top of that, they were starting to infiltrate the opposing team's wives and family fucking section, and we're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
This is being cut out of the thing.
Anyway.
But maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, that's all I got for today.
That's it. We're gonna have this little tidbit of football, guys. Yeah, football.
Oh, yeah.
I'm probably not watching a single game this year.
Oh, said that last year. How'd that turn out?
I actually watched like 2 games.
Ooh,
3 games.
maybe we'll get down to 1 this year.
Maybe we'll get down to 1. Anyway, thank you guys for watching Apex to Oval. I almost said JF Sports. Like, this was the old. God damn, dude. I'm losing it. Thank you for watching Apex to Oval. Appreciate you watching or listening. And
Sheldon Creed's gonna win. Sheldon Creed's gonna win. I swear.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.